views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open BxRx Remote, brought to you from my living workspace, Travery Executive Suite. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll speak to Boundless Theater Company's Executive Artistic Director and Lighting Designer, Maria Cristina Fusté, to discuss this year's theater production workshop, Boundless Exposed 2022. After that, we'll be joined by Jerrell Obee, owner of New York's new late-night vegan burger joint, Jerrell's Betr Brgr. Then we'll speak to multi-modality healing facilitator and co-founder of MINKA Brooklyn, Aki Hirata Baker, as she discusses the importance of wellness and harmonious living. Later on in the show, Bobby C brings us an up-to-date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And lastly, this week's Open Artist Spotlight shines on founder and CEO of bomba wear and dance company, Milteri Tucker Concepcion, followed by a performance at the end of the show. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. To Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour, inviting you to get social with us online. That is, tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget to follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So our first guest has built a career in lighting design with credits in New York, her native Puerto Rico, major cities in the US, Bolivia, Colombia, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic. She's also the founder and executive artistic director of Boundless Theater Company, a designer-led organization spearheaded by women Latinx theater makers. She joins us today to talk about Boundless Exposed, a theater production workshop and mentoring opportunity for early career theater designers of color. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Maria Cristina Fusté. Hello and welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me here.
Well, welcome back, right? Because you guys have a lot going on over there at Boundless Theater, and it's wonderful to be able to share with our viewers. And this is an absolutely super exciting program. So I'm excited to share with our viewers. This is how many years in the making now?
Oh, wow. We started in 2009 with this program. And it's true, for us, it's one of the most exciting programs because we get to foster, new, usually young, but early career designers of color that are just eager to be working and probably don't have the same opportunities that other people do in the workforce out there. So it's very exciting. And I just love getting all those applications and listening to what people need and in their, development as designers. It's exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting because coming from a theater background, I think most people always are interested in performing, right? And then once you're in there and you start realizing that there's all these other components that are part of the magic making. And so I've experienced various performances and presentations by Boundless Theater, and I know you guys are like top notch in everything you execute. And so it's lovely that you're offering this program that is offering this skill set and this development in the other areas of theater. So let's talk about the levels that people need to be on in order to apply.
Yes. Well, it has to be people that are already in the designers field, mainly students that are in undergrad or just graduated or starting their MFA in design, people that already have tools there, right, in the design aspects of theater. We usually hire a costume designer, a set designer, and a lighting designer. We have a mentor for each discipline. And then we also have a playwright that it's going to be writing a play as we go along in the process. So whoever applies needs to be in their early career, just starting, but already knows what design is about and has some of the skills.
Okay, and so again, those are the three areas that you're actually looking to develop these individuals in. And so what does that timeline look like, and what does the application process look like?
Yeah, the application process, you go to our website, boundlesstheater.org, and you can download the application there. You need to fill it out and then submit a letter of recommendation from anyone that has seen your work before. And also you need to write us a letter describing why you think this program is good for you and why is it important for you to be part of this mentoring program. And then just submit it, and we are going to have an interview process where we talk to all the participants, to all of them, and then we decide very shortly, and we start the program immediately in February.
And so how long is the program? Like what kind of time commitment is that?
Yes, we are going to meet every Monday, weekly, let's say, starting February 22nd, and the final presentation is April 29th. So the program consists of 10 meetings where the designers are going to develop an installation. That's the final, the final project. But they, through research, and also we take into account whatever they want to say or feel like it's important for them to say. And based on that, they do research, we meet, we get together, and they decide as a group what is it that they want to present. And together with the playwright, they develop a script, which is super exciting because it's very unique, it's very special to their needs and their wants, right? And then at the end, they also participate of the rehearsal process. So it's a collaboration. It's not just a director saying, I have to do this and that. No, they also participate of the directing and forming of the whole thing, right? And then at the end, we present it to an audience free of charge. And after the performance, there's a talk back. And we also create a video showing their process throughout the 3 months. And it turns out to be amazing. People love it. They want to learn more about them. And most of them, they just go out there and start working as assistants to all of us or other designers, and we're able to recommend them. So I think it's a very important opportunity. It's a small program in a way because it's only 3 of them, but I feel that it makes a big impact in their professional lives as Latinx designers.
Absolutely, especially when you're able to get that intimate attention, right? That and have it customized to your vision. That's amazing. And to top it off, it's like a paid internship, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. They will receive $100 as a stipend for their time. And definitely that helps. Each year we try to increase it and get more grants. And we do invest in materials for the sets, for the costumes. We have support. Previous participants work as crew members. It's a beautiful project. And I feel that we have the support to give them, the tools to create an amazing, final presentation for everyone.
Well, we certainly are aware of your efforts and your commitment to all different generational theater professionals, because I know my daughter comes under Boundless Theater, and that's the younger version of El Barrio Raíces. So it's just wonderful to see that you have all the different age levels and also the different aspects of what it takes to mount a theater production. And thank you for bringing it to our viewers, Maria Cristina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And remember, if any of you are interested in applying, you need to go to boundlesstheater.org, and the application is there. You'll see more information, photos, etc.
Wonderful. And you guys, once again, if you are an early designer in the tri-state area, submission deadline for Boundless Exposed application is February 6, 2022. And for more, you can visit boundlesstheater.org or you can also check them out on social media at Boundless Theater. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about the new trending spot, a late night vegan joint that you don't want to miss. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is the founder of Jerrell's Brgr, a burger spot serving 100% plant-based burgers, fries, chili, and shakes using sustainable products. And he's helping the community say goodbye to meat sweats while feeling good about their decision to help save the planet. Here now to tell us more, we welcome Jerrell's Brgr's owner, Jerrell Obee. Hello and welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right, well, let's just start with the fact that you decided to open up a vegan burger joint in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, it was risky. Yeah, I actually thought of the concept 2 years ago. I'm a new to fatherhood. Had my son 2 years ago, Jerrell Jr. And yeah, I was just thinking about the future. I actually started to research and started getting into veganism and sustainability. And I just came up with this concept. And upon doing my research, I came across like Slutty Vegan, which is in Atlanta, Pinky Cole doing amazing things, Monty's Burger in California. And I really felt like New York City, they had a couple of spots, but they wasn't doing it the right way. So, and also no late night spots. So I just took a risk, came up with a concept, and here we are 2 years later.
Yeah, well, congratulations in taking the leap, and also with the flavor that you're coming in with, right? Because you said the key word, you're a late night spot. So that's kind of hot, right? Because back in the day, we used to have a place to go to after the clubs, and you guys are 4 o'clock in the morning on the weekends. And not only that, you're looking like a spot that comes back from like the 50s.
Yeah. Actually, it was I never owned a restaurant before, so upon my research, I couldn't afford Manhattan, anything in Manhattan. So I was mainly looking in Brooklyn. And, unfortunately, I got to take advantage of the COVID situation, and this amazing property in Soho came available. And I was looking for more like of an indoor spot. But my spot is only takeout only. But it just reminded me of like retro vibes, and also like, sort of like a Patsy's and Gino's, what Patsy's and Gino's is to Philadelphia, like that big late night spot, just takeout. So yeah, I came across the property, made an offer. Fortunately, I got it, and I just wanted that real retro fun vibe, for late night in New York City.
It's definitely, yeah. Well, even your branding is retro and fun. I mean, you've got the emoji with like the face and a star and a check mark. The Brgr itself is written without vowels. Is there any particular reason why vowels are excluded in your writing, sir?
No, my amazing brander, Allison from Hi-Fi Brand, she's been helping me work on this concept since I thought of it. And yeah, I just follow her direction. We came up with a couple of names, and it was supposed to be called Jerrell Alternative Burger. And she thought that Better Burger, and the way we can play with it and use those vowels, because our slogan is eat better, do better, live better, and be better. And the way we can just play around with it, and followed her lead, and I'm getting praise to this day, and I'm glad I made that choice.
Well, congratulations on that as well. So let's just educate our viewers a little bit about this consciousness, this plant-based lifestyle, in just really considering what the impact it's having on Mother Earth. Because I know a lot of people think veganism is just like a trend, right? And even though it is a trend, but it is a mindful way of living. So let's talk about how you became a vegan. How about that?
Yeah, so actually, it's crazy. I'm still working on it. I'm actually down to eating meat 1 day a week. I started 4 days, and with my journey and opening up the restaurant and hiring amazing employees, they keep me on track. And also too, I feel like at the time, veganism was like an all or nothing. And a lot of people was intimidated because it's like, oh, you gotta, it's either all or nothing type concept. So that's why we made Jerrell's Betr Burger, is because we go after the people that just maybe one day just want to replace a burger, and just instead of eating McDonald's or Shake Shack, they'll just have a Jerrell's Betr Burger. Just maybe even if they still eat meat, and replacing burgers, or just starting small. Everyone starts somewhere. Even that also has benefits to the planet, and everyone has to start somewhere. I get praises to this day to where like vegan customers take their their meat eating friends to our restaurant, and they have a great experience. And I actually just got a message yesterday saying that ever since she came to Jerrell's, her friend has been vegan since. So so that means a lot to me.
Well, I get it. You're speaking to someone who's like in half, 1 foot in, 1 foot
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
because I'm also about the consciousness, and also, the fact that the lactose intolerance, and the fact that your shakes are made with like oat milk, right?
Yeah,
And,
oat milk, yeah.
and so it's completely vegan. And everything that's served is vegan.
Yeah. Everything is vegan. So even to our cheese, even to our bacon, especially our ice cream. Speaking of ice cream, I actually use Alamode ice cream, which is their factories in the Bronx. So New York City business. Alamode ice cream. They actually make a special blend just for Jerrell's for our soft serve.
That's amazing. And that's how we're going to grow. And that's how we're going to come out of this, doing it together and working with each other. And so, all right. So I already mentioned that you're open until 4:00 within the weekends, right? Friday through Saturdays. And during the week, I understand you're open from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Correct. Yeah. So pretty much Sunday through Thursday, we're open from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. And then Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m.
And so how are you doing within those hours, right? Especially during this particular time where we're kind of, it's like, oh, the surge, oh, we're going to go back to normal. Yeah.
So summer's it's different. Summer, like we open in late summer, when it's warm outside, we get a lot of business because we're only takeout. So the good thing is,
but you have seating areas outside.
Correct. Yeah, we have seating area.
I just want people to understand, like, I don't think anybody really wants to sit out in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I don't know.
No. We have
just be out nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna bundle up and go have a Jerrell's Betr Burger, have a shake, and sit out in the cold just to be outside. You
Speaking of that, funny story is we do have seating area outside, and our outdoor build out with heat has been delayed due to materials, and it's still being built. And people in 20-degree weather still come and eat outside and drink milk ice cream. So it's crazy. So shout out to our loyal customers. Yeah.
Well, it looks like that kind of joint, right? And I know we're showing images of it because it looks like a spot that you have to visit and you have to experience, you know? And I know you built it that way. You designed it so that it would be nostalgic and some, or hopefully a landmark within New York.
Yeah. That's the goal. Still working on it. I have an amazing PR person, and TikTok. We're becoming really viral on TikTok. And so we're still working on it.
All right. Well, we thank you for bringing it here to our viewers and for keeping it real too. I really dig that. You're like, I'm like one burger away from being complete.
Yeah. Because even in like my manifesto, I had to be real because I knew that the vegan community and I was actually nervous and scared, but the vegan community has embraced me. And they understand my journey and the struggles. So
yeah, but the truth is that everything in moderation and everything at each individual's pace. And so long as you honor that, eventually it will manifest itself into you entirely becoming a vegan. So good luck with that, Jerrell.
You
definitely got the right spot.
Yeah, that's it. I'll eat my burgers any day, any day.
And you guys, if you're interested in Jerrell's Betr Burgers, it's located at 117 6th Avenue in Soho, Manhattan, and it's open once again Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m., and Friday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. And for more information, you can visit JerrellsBetterBurger.com, and on IG and TikTok, follow them at Jerrell's Betr Burger. All right, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear from a community-led center for wellness and harmonious living. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is a multi-modality healing facilitator, teacher, and speaker. She is a founder of MINKA Brooklyn, a collectively run healing space that centers the work of undoing all forms of social oppression through healing and uncapitalistic approach to business. She joins us today to speak about the upcoming classes and training courses at MINKA that provide wellness and harmonious living for all. Everyone, please welcome Aki Hirata Baker.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for committing yourself to being here. I know you're just getting over COVID.
Yes, I am.
Yes. And well, it's a good thing you're on the other side.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, well, thank you, and I'm happy that you're in a better place. And unfortunately, we are living in a day and age where it's the reality is we have to live with it, right? And so, in living with it, let's talk a little bit about MINKA first, right? And what I guess inspired you to find this collective, because I also noticed that nobody takes complete ownership over it, which I think is really lovely.
Yeah. And, people are always like, oh, you own MINKA. I was like, I don't own MINKA. It almost feels like MINKA owns me. I'm working for MINKA because, as of anything spiritually in nature, I look at our business as its own entity, that it has its own mission. And MINKA's mission is to make sure that people of color are seen as a thought leaders, teachers, and a way shower. I started MINKA, quite honestly, being frustrated, going to different wellness and healing spaces. All the teachers who are teaching the arts were European descent most of the time. And students, rarely people of color. I myself being probably only one of a few Asians. And if I were to look for Black, Brown, and Indigenous people, they may not be sitting in a space, right? And these teachers are elevated to be a teacher and who knows things. And I saw a lot of lost in translation because people who were teaching these arts were not coming from the understanding of the sensitive, nuanced cultural information. And one, I thought that it was a detriment to the holistic arts in general. And then two, that I know that there were so many people of color who teaches these things that who needs to be put to the forefront of this field. So that's really where it started for me.
Right. And then the name itself means home of the people, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so let's talk about your journey into becoming a holistic healer and the founder of this, because I know you had to overcome your own issues into learning how to just be a self-healer, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's really how another reason for MINKA being structured the way it is because of that very thing, that we have living in this world where experts are outside of us, that doctors and then academia and all of those things are outside and they have the power. But what we really have to remember is that our body is designed to heal itself. That when we get a cut, if your body is functioning okay, then it's going to heal itself. And it's actually the same thing for everything else that happens within our body. We forget that our body is constantly healing itself, right? So then that's really how I came to this place of working on myself, and then now to share that with everybody.
Right. And so, I mean, you know, in case you guys are wondering what we're referring to, I know that she suffered from chronic bronchitis for a very long time. And she also dealt with depression for a very long time. And throughout her practice, she was able to figure out how to apply her energy on herself. And so I would love for you to elaborate further. I just wanted to give everybody a taste of the specifics in which the energy healing is also part of the wellness process.
Yeah. And, you know, I think a lot of the times that people who knows me now kind of think like, oh, she must have been always been that way. It actually is not true, right? I started out in this holistic healing practice 20 years ago, and I started out from something very tangible, which is Ayurvedic medicine that's healing through food and all of that. And I have done all these things, but my depression and my chronic illness just did not go away. And it has gotten to a place where I was just really struggling. I was struggling so much. And I really, really contemplated on ending my life. Even with my children being young, I just almost felt like I may be actually not contributing to my children's wellness, but I may be detracting from it because of the way how I was being. And when I got to the place, I have to do something that I have never done before, it was just so out there that I didn't consider doing, which were energy healing and vibrational medicine. And through trying that out, and just to be brief and explaining exactly what I did, I had 10 months bronchitis that would not go away. And only thing that worked for me was going to an acupuncture, but I have to go every 2 weeks, otherwise it'll come back. And I thought to myself, well, I love acupuncture, but I don't want to be dependent on it because it's financially not feasible for me, right? So then I actually picked up this book, and it's called Donna Eden's Energy Medicine. And there was this particular exercise you do to reset your energy. I just instinctively knew something was just not functioning the way it needed to. I know my body should be well because I'm a reasonably healthy person. So I did this exercise, I would say furiously. I was just to the point, I was like, I couldn't do anything else. I needed something. So I did this work for 2 days, only 2 days. I have not been sick since. Well, I just got COVID. So, but it's been about 10 years that I did not get sick.
Right. No, I get it. But also, you know, even though you got COVID, had you had the other condition, it might have been worse than what you've experienced. So yeah. So just to clarify that as well, right? And so COVID is kind of like, you know, one of those things right now where you're kind of like, hey, you know, bob and weave.
Get me, come get me. No, don't get me.
Exactly. So, so that being said, based on your quick synopsis of your foundation, which was like 20 something years ago, now you have this amazing establishment that is collectively managed, and you have these classes that you're offering. And I want to make sure that we mention them before we run out of time, because you have Reiki certifications, you have this path of alignment. I mean, I can go over them, and we can briefly just mention like which you feel like somebody who's just starting should attend, and or you know where the benefits come from, you know, because it could be a little intimidating if it's something unfamiliar to you, right? So the idea is that you have a self-care membership, right? And so you've got self-care classes and content from anywhere monthly. You've got virtual community Reiki, the path of alignment. You've got Reiki certification 1, Reiki 2 certification, family and systemic constellations, ecological consciousness and reciprocity. I mean, this is all language that I love. You also have sound healing, right? Bringing sound into your healing work. And and you've got an IET certification, which I don't know what IET certification stands for, but I know that MINKA is also a mystery school. So let's really sum it up as quickly as we possibly can so our viewers understand everything that I just read off.
So MINKA is a mystery school because life is a mystery, right? And we want to get to the next phase of our humanity right now. We really know that something hasn't been working and we need something new. In order for that new to come, we need to dive into something we haven't experienced yet. And we are a school where we think about that, but we don't only think about it from this kind of woo-woo standpoint of like, oh, I'm just going to go somewhere and I'm going to be mysterious. That's not what we are doing. We think that in order for our society to function in a way that we all want to, then we all need to step into that part of ourselves that is a mysterious part of ourselves. We all have that capacity, and that's what we all do. At MINKA. And one of the things that you mentioned is the membership, self-care membership. And that's something that we can all start from, because the thing is, it's not something about you go to this retreat and you become a different person. It comes from the practice, and you yourself know that, right? It's building that basic practice that you can be supported in. So if anyone is interested in starting that journey, I highly recommend that membership. So you can start and be with us and start doing things kind of like every day.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and giving us and being authentic and transparent in your journey and being so like direct about just taking the initiative to take matters into your own hands. So thank you. Thank you, Aki Hirata Baker. Once again, you guys, for more on Aki and MINKA Brooklyn, you can visit both their websites. One is soulflowermedicine.com and the other is minkabrooklyn.com. Stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next. Namaste, Aki.
Thank you.
We begin this 5-on-5 with the Bronx Player of the Week. In the mix last week from our selection, Manhattan College standout and reigning MAC Player of the Week, Jose Perez. He stayed hot again this past week to take home our honor. Although the Jaspers would drop 2 out of 3, the Bronx star led his team in scoring in all 3 games on the week. He opened with 16 points and capped the week with 22 points on Sunday. His best performance came last Friday night in a big win over Siena, where Perez dropped 32 points. He also hauled in 6 rebounds and added 6 assists. Jose Perez, the Bronx Player of the Week, right here on BronxNet. We highlighted Ian Jackson and Cardinal Hayes last week on the high school level. Captain Jack and Hayes were at it again on the basketball hardwood this past weekend, taking part in the New York versus New Jersey Catholic League Showcase at Iona College in New Rochelle. Although his game against Will Richardson, an incoming Fordham University recruit next year, was of the marquee variety, I'm handing out the 4th spot this week to St. Ray and its showdown with Don Bosco Prep in that same tournament. Rays fell 76-57 in the showcase, but has played very well so far this season. Isaiah Filbert paced St. Raymond with 12 points. Brandon Storrs also played well, netting 10 in defeat. We'll stick with basketball and the latest from the Knicks. The orange and blue ended a 3-game slide over the weekend, topping the LA Clippers. Here's more.
Just our togetherness on both sides of the ball. They made runs, ups and downs in the game, but shared the ball pretty well and defended. After halftime, I think we defended pretty well. Reggie Jackson was hurting us a little bit, but figured that out a little bit, and then just was solid. I think we were really solid throughout the game.
In at number 2, a tie between the New York Football Giants and the New York Rangers. We'll start with the Broadway Blue Shirts on the ice, who are serious contenders for the Stanley Cup, thanks to league-leading scorer Chris Kreider. Here's more from the first-place Rangers and the man who is first in goals in the National Hockey League.
Guys are just getting the pucks to the net when I'm there, really. I mean, my job, I've said it so many times, it's pretty simple. Honestly, we joke that I should probably have a few more. I've missed a bunch of those where it's just, they're tap-ins. So just try to get there and present myself. And so many good guys up and down our lineup who can create, manipulate passing lanes, beat guys, create enough space where they can make those plays. So I play with some of the best players in the world. So.
Big Blue is hopeful that their latest move put them in championship contention. Joe Shane is the new general manager of the New York Football Giants. He's the former assistant GM for the Buffalo Bills. And speaking of the Bills, side note here, what a weekend from the NFL divisional round. All 4 divisional round games were won on walk-offs, including Buffalo's heartbreaking defeat to Kansas City in overtime, where the Bills lost the coin toss and never got a chance to overcome it as the Chiefs scored a touchdown and won. Maybe the greatest NFL playoff weekend of all time. And at number 1, an RIP for the great musician Meat Loaf. He was such a die-hard sports fan that he once brought legendary Yankees player Yogi Berra to a recording studio with him. The rock legend died at age 74 last week. He sang the national anthem at the Baseball All-Star Game in 1994, was an avid fantasy baseball player, loved the Bronx Bombers, and of course will forever be remembered for the hit song Paradise by the Dashboard Light, which features Yankee great Phil Rizzuto, then an announcer for the team. Rest in peace, Meat Loaf. Thank you for all of the hits. We move on to the back end of 5 on 5 and look ahead. We'll stick with baseball and hand number 1 and number 2 here to the Yanks. The Bombers introduced Rachel Balkovich as the manager of the club's low-A affiliate in the Florida State League. In taking over in Tampa, Balkovich will become the first female manager in the history of affiliated baseball, an appointment 10 years in the making for the former college softball player.
The first word that comes to mind in this situation is just gratitude. And there's a long list of people, but obviously the Yankees are at the forefront of my mind right now. And just understanding that this is a tidal wave of decisions starting way before my time with, cash hiring Kim Ng and Gene way before I was a thought. So I think this is really nothing new for the Yankees. It's just, how it's always been. They've been very progressive for a really long time. And obviously that's led to a lot of success.
The sky's the limit. She's determined. She's strong. She's got perseverance. She's obviously, she's got a plan where what she wants to do in the present and then where she wants to go in the future. And so I would not put any limitations on what her, future would entail. I think she's willing to go to the ends of the earth to accomplish her goals. And she has demonstrated that by working in Australia, by working in the Dominican and all aspects of here in the United States. She went over to the Netherlands, obviously, we saw on her resume and worked and obviously got a degree. And so this is someone that will not be denied.
Great to see so many more barriers being broken and the Yankees continuing their tradition of being progressive. Excited for her future and for the future of baseball in this regard. Meantime, the Bronx Bombers just added a new weapon to their farm system for $4 million. That weapon is a 17-year-old Dominican shortstop named Roderick Arias. Arias is just 17, but he's not your average 17-year-old. He has quite the skill set to show why he is the consensus number 1 overall pick, according to MLB.com. Too bad he can't play shortstop for the Bombers just yet. 3 and 4 belong to the NFC and AFC championship games from the NFL Gridiron this coming weekend. At 3, the NFC championship game will showcase the San Francisco 49ers and Los Angeles Rams in LA at the site of this year's upcoming Super Bowl in February. At 4, the AFC championship game will match the Cincinnati Bengals, so hot right now, against Kansas City. That game kicks at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Niners Rams follows at 6:30. The games will include 3 division winners and 1 wild card entrant. Still, some heavy hitters gone from the mix. It will be interesting to see who advances. And at number 1, another announcement from us, a perfect segue here to the C-List. To the C-List we go for new endeavors. We are feeling quite new in 2022. We added the Bronx Player of the Week last week, and this week we're going to take it back for the old timers here on the show with another wrinkle to our coverage. We call this Nugget on this date. On this date in Bronx sports history, one of the greatest announcers in Yankee history was born. January 28th, 1934, the great Bill White was born in Florida. Although he's not from the BX, White would become part of the fabric of some of the great pinstripe teams after an amazing career as a player himself. He was an 8-time All-Star from a period from 1959 through 1964, winning 7 Gold Gloves and a World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals, where White helped them beat the Yankees. St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Famer, now 87, did better things for the Bronx franchise not too long after that. In 1971, White joined the Bombers broadcast team. He called Yankee games from 1971 to 1988, most often with the legendary tandem of Phil Rizzuto and Frank Messer. He did the team's broadcasts on both radio and television during most of that stretch. White was the first regular black play-by-play announcer for a major league sports team. On New York City radio, he was featured on WMCA from 1971 to 1977, after which the Yankees switched over to WINS. In 1981, the Yankee broadcast team moved on over to WABC. On television, White worked with Rizzuto and Messer on WPIX, the good old days from my childhood. Nationally, White helped call several World Series for CBS Radio and did sports reports for the network. He also did pregame reports for ABC's coverage of the Yankee Stadium games in the 1977 World Series. And he also handled the postgame trophy presentation for the network after the Yankees clinched that World Series title in the 6th game. Reggie Jackson, oh boy. WPIX and its usual Rizzuto-Messer-White broadcast trifecta carried the ALCS in 1976, 77, 78, 80, and 1981, providing New York viewers a local alternative to the national broadcast telecasts. The most famous highlight with White on play-by-play was the Bucky Dent 3-run home run during the one-game playoff between the Yankees and the rival Boston Red Sox in 1978 on WPIX. The Yankee organization showcased their appreciation following his years in the broadcast booth when they selected him to receive their Pride of the Yankees Award in 1990. On this date in Bronx sports history, happy birthday, Mr. White. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our last guest is an award-winning Puerto Rican native who holds a degree in dance education from NYU. She is the founder and artistic director of Bombazo Dance Company, a Puerto Rican-based nonprofit dance organization that preserves, educates, advocates, and performs bomba puertorriqueña. Puerto Rico's oldest music and dance genre, dating back to the 17th century by enslaved and freed people of color. And so she is also the CEO of Bombazo Wear Skirts, traditional clothing of bomba dancers. And today she joins us to speak about Resistencia y Libertad, a new exhibition and fashion collection that pays tribute to the Puerto Rican flag. Everyone, please welcome, desde Puerto Rico, estoy celosa, Milteri Tucker Concepcion.
Hola, Rhina. Hola, todo el mundo. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm in between the sunshine and palm trees. So come, if you can, come down to Puerto Rico safely, of course.
Well, aren't you taking a break from the BX? How long have you been in Puerto Rico?
Well, this is my third day, actually. It's my third day, and I miss home so much. You know, this is my home, and I just miss it. You know, it's just so beautiful, and you know, it's Puerto Rico. What more can I say?
I know. Well, you know, I want to congratulate you on recently becoming a mom, right? And so we did mention that you're a new mom too. But I want to say that it's so beautiful that you've been able to design your life around your craft and your cultura, and the beauty of being able to come back and forth from the Bronx to Puerto Rico and still present from the root of what has been driving you, right? Which is first dance, and then of course the wardrobe that you use for the dance, and now having your own bombazo wear dance fashion style that is now hitting runways. Wow.
Thank you. You know, it's all been organically grown, and I think it goes hand in hand with the art form. You know, we have dance, we have drum, but part of that, which is important, is the attire, the wear, which all the elders in the island have conserved. And you know, I'm here. I came a little bit earlier because I'm interviewing them as well, and why the importance of this, and is for them is conserving the traditions of their abuelas, their tias, those women who lived in a generation that, of course, that was the streetwear, right? That was the norm. And how the dress, even though it was European based, right, with French and Portuguese and Spanish influence, that was imposed on our ancestors, how, like the hat wrap, they made it their own. You know, these were the women who were sewing. They were the one who created their own craft. The dancers themselves became designers and are designers, just like myself, and how they felt that it is important to remember this time period in Puerto Rico, and also to showcase that and to eliminate the stigma of, you know, women and people of color in lesser clothing, or, you know, in very poor clothes. No, you had your people who were free, people of color, who were people who were very proud of their appearance also. And they said, you know, if they can dress this way, we can dress this way too. There shouldn't be any gaps in between. And that's part of the resistance. And that's why I named this exhibition Resistencia y Libertad, because something that was imposed on them, they turned it around. They made it even more fashionable. You know how our people are. Very colorful. And, you know, and said, you know, this is us too. We are here. We are more than what the society wants us to believe that we are. And, you know, we are to say we're designers, we're educated people, we're Black educated people. You know, and that's why I pay homage in this exhibition to those seamstresses, past, present, and future. It's been a wonderful to learn about them. You know, the dancers, how attached they are to their clothing as well. That, oh, this is my favorite one, or this is my favorite one because they remember a certain performance, or somebody dear to them made it with so much love and care that they still preserve it. So
okay, so before you keep going, because I want our audience to be clear, right? Because people may be watching from Puerto Rico, right? So this exhibition, Resistencia y Libertad, which in English, by the way, translated means liberty and resistance, right? Or resistance and liberty, right? And so the concept itself is obviously going to be the bombazo wear, right? Which I know there's a fashion show, but in addition to that, what could people look forward to? You're mentioning something about documenting and interviewing these elders. So is it multimedia? I just want clarity.
Yeah, no, it is an exhibition where we are exhibiting clothes from the different time periods and also from a few bomberas. So that's part of the interview process. There is some mixed media component because we are showing that part of the documentation. Also a fashion show from our latest line, Bombazo Wear. So it is Bombazo Wear, the exhibition, with paying homage to the bomberas and elders in dance and bomba, as well as the new, because I represent the new, fresh generation of bomberas who are keeping these traditions alive.
I know, and not only that, you designed the skirts in a way that they could be worn as regular skirts. I mean, I own one for, if anyone wants. And on top of that, I remember you made it for me during the pandemic because I had to come up with a costume for a dance that I had to do in the park. And I got to tell you, and I'm just saying this because it isn't just a bomba skirt, right? So in case you guys are unfamiliar with the bomba skirt, they're kind of like, they're fluffy. I mean, how would you describe the material? Because they're used to kind of like create their own visuals in movement.
Exactly. Well, the skirts itself are big because they're creating these figures in space. They're part of the movement, right? That the dancer makes. So they, depending on the material used, they can be heavy. It has a lot of material, so it looks very rich, and to create that effect in space, right? So it's part, and they're long because it's part of that time period, the 18th century, and that's why that's why we use them, but that we've conserved them. But yes, I give it a new twist because I want people to represent themselves, and they can go out, be in a red carpet, be somewhere in the park doing an interview, or and represent their culture and who they are. So I make it so that it's very feasible nowadays to wear it for whatever the client wants to wear, for dance, interviews, performance, or just to have a skirt.
Right. And also, of course, to always be ready to dance bomba.
Yes, always.
All right. So, Milteri, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us via Puerto Rico. You guys, guess what? We're going to give you a taste of what the skirt can do when it's accompanied by the drums. So don't go anywhere, because when we return, Milteri and the Bombazo Dance Company are going to perform for us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Here now to perform a traditional bomba dance performance. Please welcome Bombazo Dance Company. Bombazo Dance Company. And once again, to attend Bombazo Wear Caribbean Skirts exhibition Resistencia y Libertad in Puerto Rico, it opens Thursday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. and will be on display till March 31st, 2022 at Centro Cultural Carmen Solá de Pereira in Ponce, Puerto Rico. And for more on Milteri, Bombazo Wear and Dance Company, you can visit their websites at bombacaribbeanskirts.com and bombazodanceco.com. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to our viewers for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide peace, prosperity, y amor.